Good morning, YouTube. Uh, we're back at it, and today we have a 1966 Ford Mustang coupe that we're restoring. It's been a couple years since we've been pulling it apart and back and forth on it, but we had other projects pulled up and finished them, and it's kind of been put back, but we're back at it. And this one was a 1966 Ford Mustang 289 from the factory. Automatic trans, and it was a Tahoe turquoise out exterior, and interior was just all black. It was a base model, and we've pulled it all apart. We've finished painting about 90% of the underbody, and we've went back to the original black. Here it's kind of dusty because we've been sanding, wet sanding, all of that, but it's been painted. It's pretty nice. There's no runs on it or anything. It's a nice factory black, and underneath of the hood's been painted. So had the top was painted. We didn't paint it on the car, as you guys can tell, but we are gonna paint it again on the car this time, so we can have a nice flow and no inaccuracies in the paint. But this is a point that put us off. We were wet sanding, and we found a spot that wasn't painted right, so we decided that we're gonna put it on the car, line it up, line the fenders back up. We've already painted the under body and the underside of the fenders and all of that back to the original. And this car, we're trying to stay as close to original as we can, but we might do some upgrades, such as wheels and tires. We might upgrade to the Magnums, which were also original out of the factory in '66, but this one was a base model, so it had the painted wheels, and they just had a plastic / metal cover on them. But we'll upgrade those. We'll upgrade some of the interior. We'll still keep it all black, so all the colors will be matched back to the serial numbers. And let me show you guys the underbody. We don't have good lighting, but you guys can take a look. We decided to go with a textured underbody, but it's still the same black color. Nothing too fancy. And you guys can tell that panel right there was Tahoe turquoise from factory, so it's all been done back to original. And the underside of these fenders are also textured black, and the underbody stuff. And we did a textured underbody, that it's better than just flat black or something, or just doing a normal black paint under there, because it'll withstand more rain, water, because we are trying to make this into kind of a show car / driver, Sunday driver. And next step is going to be to paint the dash and the doors. That's going to be all black, according to the original specs. So we've got it sanded down with 320 grit, and the dash is all sanded down. The car's been jammed, and here's a closer look at the Tahoe turquoise color. It's kind of dusty because we've been sanding, and there. But it's a nice color. It was very rare. Tahoe turquoise was probably the rarest color on these Mustangs. According to what I know, you guys may be able to correct me on that, but from what I know and what I've seen, Tahoe turquoise was probably the rarest color. And especially in North Carolina, we don't see a lot of Tahoe turquoise Mustangs that are restored driving down the road. And all the underbody, this is the only side of the underbody that we're still sanding down. It's going to be painted. You guys can tell right there. But again, 90% of it has been painted. And the panels are being prepped, so the exterior is being prepped for paint. Interior is all painted. You guys can tell. It's a nice color. And this car was pretty solid. It was in mint condition. It was running, driving when we got it about a couple years back. And this is where the spare tire was, so that's not a dent, it's just made for the spare tire. And anyways, this is all going to be covered with carpet, but there's no runs in the paint that we did. We had a professional painter do it. We're just prepping the car, and he's a friend of ours, and he's done a lot of these Mustangs and other antiques. He's painted a couple trucks down the road, and he's painting it. We are gonna probably paint the dash and the doors ourselves with a smaller gun that we have. But again, you guys can see that this is all prep. It's all masked. I just finished masking all that down there. And you know, all the floor pans, everything's original on this car. Nothing has been replaced. No, you know, there's no welding that's been done to it. All that's original. It's pretty dusty because, you know, we're still working on it, but everything's out of the dash. You know, there's some wiring back there, but we have all the brand new wiring harnesses that are gonna go in it already here. It's all prep for paint, and we've already got the new heater core in it, but that's all masked down and ready for paint. The steering wheel is going to be upgraded, so you know, we're going to leave that on there while we paint. It's all cracked, but this is the original steering wheel that it came with from the factory. We'll probably end up saving it, but we'll probably upgrade some of these parts, you know, probably like a wood textured steering wheel, which was also original from factory in '66, but just kind of, you know, a better interior because it's going to be a show car slash a driver. You know, it's not going to be parked in the garage 24/7. It's going to be driven around. And here's a closer look at the outside. You know, all this is for prep for the interior paint, the black paint job we're going to do to the dash and all that. And we're probably going to upload a video once we get that done, and once we have all the panels prepped for the exterior. We're still lining up the gaps. We've got them pretty close to where we need them, but you know, we're still going to fine-tune those. And the hood gap's actually pretty good on both sides. This is just a hinge, you know, it needs to be pressed down fully, but that's all. It's pretty good on both sides. And again, all that's been painted. The underbody on this side has been all done, and we did end up replacing, you know, the shock tower cover right there on the other side because it was missing. And there's a Tahoe turquoise back there on one of the panels. And the fuel line's original, but there was no rust. It's been cleaned throughout, and it's ready to go back on. And it was also painted, but both ends are capped, so no paint went inside. As you guys can tell, you know, it was a solid car. There was no rust, no pitting. All that you see, it's a textured undercoating, so you know, it may look weird on camera, but that's just a textured undercoating. We might end up spraying another coat on the bottom over here, but that's pretty much done. And here's just an overview of it. You know, it's a nice car. Probably not going to sell it once we're done with it, but we are going to bring new projects into the shop and start working on those. We actually have a shop being put up right now, in which like one bay is going to be all of our projects, and we'll be working on them slowly. And that's the overview, and I'll go show you guys some more painted parts that we have inside. That's the front valence, rear valence. The front main grille slash the hood latch and all that haven't been painted. The trunk's been painted. The front bumper, and the front bumper was original. Both valences are brand new, and we've got some nuts and bolts painted, which we're going to be needing pretty soon. We've prepped the left tail end and the right tail end and the front headlight surroundings. And the bumper's original. We're going to try to keep that all original. And it's pretty dirty, dusty, you know, it's been in the shop. And we'll get someone out here to polish that. We might do that ourselves, but it'll be back to, you know, the nice shine. And that's all original. It was never hit or anything. And all these pieces are, you know, most of the car's original. Again, it's just the hood and, you know, both valences that are brand new. But, you know, the hood wasn't really damaged at all. It was just You know, the guy that was doing all this before us, you know, we paid him to do some body work, and he wanted to put a new hood on it because, you know, he thought it was damaged, but it turns out it wasn't damaged. But we still ended up using the new hood, but we still have the old hood if we ever want to change that out or paint that and, you know, keep it as a spare, or maybe for the next project Mustang. We got some paint stuff over there. This whole room is actually designated to the Mustang. And yep. And guys, just stay tuned for the next video. We'll try to upload as soon as possible. If you guys can please subscribe, hit the like button, you know, that really helps us out. And we're trying to finish this project and try to upgrade to another project, which is probably going to be a semi. And we'll try to keep, you know, antique cars. We might end up making another channel for cars and keep this channel for the truck side, you know, and we'll try to go from there. And what we're actually trying to do is trying to create this channel into a channel which is going to show majority diesel trucks, and we're talking about like old antique trucks that we'll be restoring pretty soon, and they'll be kind of like the show trucks / yard trucks we'll have outside the new shop. And we're actually trying to get hooked up on one right now. It's not owned by another YouTuber, but you know, he did a will it start video on it, and we might end up getting that. And I'm gonna leave you guys at a hanging point there. I'm not gonna tell you what truck it is, but if we do end up getting it, I will mention that in the next video, and we'll have the YouTuber come out, and you know, he might do a shout out on his channel so you guys can be informed. But that's about it, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you.